Hi! In the part 1 video, I have shown you how to draft the pattern for this casual button-up shirt. So in this part 2 video, let's see how to sew it. For this project, you will need about 1.5 meter fabric, some interfacing, buttons, and this is optional. I'm going to add embroidery patches. The fabric here is fold right side together. That means we are placing our pattern on the wrong side of the fabric. Trace around the pattern, and this is going to be our stitching line. Then add ½ inch around for seam allowance. Then we trace our stitching line on the folded side like this. And this is basically how I cut my fabric. Here we have 2 pieces front bodies, 1 piece back bodies cut on fold, 2 pieces sleeve and cuff, 2 pieces yoke. And 2 pieces collar fall with 1 piece of interfacing. Next is 2 pieces collar stand with 1 piece of interfacing. And lastly is the pocket. We are going to start with the yoke. Place right side of the yoke with the wrong side of the back piece. And right side of the yoke with the right side of the back piece together. Then sew it down. Then, take the front piece, place it right side together, but pin it only on the upper yoke. Then you can sew it together. And next, this method is known as burrito roll. Roll the front and back pieces like this. Then we match the bottom and upper yoke together. Then sew it down. You might get confused because the wrong and the right sides of my fabric look the same. I put a link in the description box below, a nice tutorial on burrito roll. Now we have a clean edges on both right and wrong side. Next we move on to the button placket. First we draw a straight line ½ inch from the center. And then Draw 1 inch line from the half-inch line we have drawn. Here I iron half inch folded towards the wrong side. Then cut an interfacing about 1 inch wide and place it on the wrong side of the shirt. After ironing the interfacing, fold the 1 inch line we made and iron it. At the bottom of the shirt, fold right side together and sew it down. Then cut the edges and flip it right side out. Then go ahead and hem the bottom of the shirt and top stitch the button placket. Next, we are going to add the pocket. This trick I found from Instagram. You have to iron the pocket with the help of a cardboard. This supposedly will create a crease around the seam allowance and make it easy to sew it later. But it didn't seem to work for me, so I end up pinning all around the pocket. Then place the pocket wherever you like and sew it down. And then sew the side seam as well. Next, we are going to sew the sleeve. Fold the sleeve right side together and sew it down. Then find the center back of the sleeve. And cut about 4 inch up. Cut a rectangle 8 by 1 inch. Place it right side together. Then fold it twice and sew it down. Fold the placket right side together. And sew it across. Next, we are going to add the cuff. This is optional. I iron interfacing on the cuff. The interfacing is cut without seam allowance. Then iron the seam allowance on the top and the bottom part of the cuff towards the wrong side of the cuff. Then fold right side together and sew on both sides. Then we can attach the sleeve on the bodice right side together. And lastly is the collar. Here I already ironed the interfacing on the collar fold and collar stand. First we are going to sew the collar fold right side together. Next, clip around and turn it right side out. Clipping around the corner will make it nice and clean. On the bottom part of the collar stand, iron on the seam allowance towards the wrong side of the collar stand. Then sandwich the collar fold in between the collar stand. After you have sewn them together, again clip the corner and flip it right side out. Then go ahead and top stitch all around. Now we can attach the collar. Just insert the bodice inside the collar stand and sew it down. Lastly, sew the buttons and buttonholes on the button placket. I add iron-on embroidery patches. And we are done! As you can see here, I have no button on my collar stand. My collar fold is sewn just right on my collar stand. If you want to add button, just alter the collar pattern a bit. Just remove ½ inch on the length of the collar fold. Then you will have this kind of collar. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!